is Troy McGee. I am the head basketball coach and athletic director at Austin High School. I graduated from Austin High School in 1991. I played basketball for Austin for 4 years. I went on to get a full scholarship at Tuskegee University, full basketball scholarship. I went to Tuskegee University, played basketball for 4 years, graduated, and ended up um, coaching basketball because my daughter wanted to play basketball.
Mm.
Yeah, ironically, I never wanted to be a basketball coach. It was something that was kind of bestowed on me. I kind of took her to a basketball program, and they knew me, and they asked me would I help out. Started coaching girls basketball. I ended up coaching at Christ the King High School for 4 years. After I left there, I was out of basketball on the high school level, but I was coaching Mac Urban Fire AAU program, a travel team. One day, a friend of mine asked, "Why do I coach girls basketball and not boys?" And I said, "Because I never wanted to be a basketball coach."
Mm.
At that point, I said the only basketball team I will actually coach is Austin boys. And he asked me why. He said, "They're terrible. Why would you coach there?" Because I said it's a lot of potential, and we never really had a basketball coach that actually was invested in basketball. From that point, it was just a random question. Maybe about a few months later, I got a call from a guy that says, "Hey, I heard you are the coach at Austin, the boys coach." And I'm like, "No, I'm not a coach at Austin." He was like, "Oh, I had a couple kids for you, and I want to send to the school." And I was like, "No, man, I don't coach basketball at all." A week after that, I got a call from the then assistant principal to inquire about me coaching girls basketball at Austin High School. So I told him that I wasn't really interested in coaching girls basketball at Austin, but I'll coach the boys. So he was like, "Okay, we'll talk about it." So I came over for an interview, and I said, "But I have to be the athletic director." That reasoning was because I had an issue with the athletic director at Christ the King High School, which I was no longer at because we had some differences. So he went on to tell me that he couldn't do that. He was like, "I can't make you the athletic director." So I said, "It's okay. I have a job." But the principal, Principal Reynolds, told me, "No, wait a minute. Let us talk, and then give me your number, and we'll get back to you in a couple weeks." So I was kind of confused. I'm like, "Give you my number? Like, you call me this?" So I'm at that point, I'm giving her my phone number. So she says, "No, no, not your phone number. The number it would take you to get you over here." So I was like, "Oh, wow." Like, okay. And then she made a statement like, "Yeah, because everybody loves you and you have to be here." So again, I'm confused. I'm like, everybody loves me. So at that time, I didn't ask any questions. I said, "Okay." I came up with the number. She met the number. And then I asked her later on, like, "What did you mean by everybody loves you?" She said that people came to me and told me that I had to get you to coach if I wanted to make the school, if I wanted to make a difference in the school. So I don't know who it was. I thank those people. But I ended up over here, and I've been here for 6 years now. We went on to win 2 conference championships. We won a City Blue West championship, and then we went on to win a regional championship in state, which is the furthest the school has been in the history of the school. So
Ooh,
we have
good
some
stuff.
big accomplishments
Okay.
so far since I've been here.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So as far as like he was saying about the differences with the athletic director at King compared to here, what would be like the concerns you had at King concerning the
Um,
differences?
the differences were at Christ King, I was coaching the young women's basketball team, and they didn't get any support. My 4 years there at Christ King, three, we won 3 championships, undefeated seasons. I won Coach of the Year there, and what kind of really made me leave the transition was we were in the state regional championship, and they did not provide transportation for my girls to go to the game.
Wow.
So one of the girls came and said, "Hey, coach, our bus is outside." So I'm like, "Okay, let's go." The bus wasn't for us; it was for the boys' freshman team to play in a conference
Wow.
game. Yeah. So at that point, we had to transport the young ladies in our vehicles. myself and my then assistant coach and a couple parents. So that was kind of what I said I couldn't do this anymore.
Okay.
So that was the issue. Here, I make decisions about all athletics in the building, and I'm fair because I did coach young women's. I'm able to understand that it's the same. Like it shouldn't be any differences.
Right.
Whatever we get, we're sponsored by Adidas. We've been sponsored by Adidas for 5 years now. The girls get exactly what the boys get.
Okay, good stuff.
For everything from shoes to uniforms to socks to bags. So we get the exact same thing. So
Okay.
there's no difference from the boys program or the young women's program, no matter wins or losses. So we don't look at it like that. It's more, I'm here not to be a basketball coach, but to help build character and to see the young men after high school be something. Whether it's go to college to play basketball, whether it's to find employment, it's other programs that we're doing. A lot of people harp on me being a basketball coach, but I tell people all the time I don't care to be a basketball coach. I'm a life coach.
There we
and
go.
That's the most important thing to me. All of the quote unquote accolades. I've been fortunate enough to win Illinois Basketball Association Coach of the Year last year. That means absolutely nothing to me. I would rather see my kids go off and go to college, get jobs, whatever it is. I want them to graduate high school. That's the most important thing. And I'm trying to build with young men. So that's the most important thing for me.
Okay.
Not the X's and O's.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Now, as far as like the winning, as far as the winning is, how did it feel when you started?
Again, winning to me, I'm a competitive by nature.
Yeah.
I think we all are. Coming from where we come from, we're competitive. So winning, I don't do anything to lose. Winning isn't everything, but it's very important to me. I think to get someone to believe in a program, allow my kids, people in the community to believe in the program, and then they see the success once we put the work in. For example, today, this is the first group of guys that asked me, Coach, can we practice in the morning? So I was here at 6 o'clock a.m. So I had a group of kids that showed up at 6 a.m. What that does is we had some issues with kids getting to school late, missing first period, things like that. We were able to get those kids in, practice in the morning, eat breakfast, take a shower, and go to class. So some of those kids who been in the first period class maybe 2-3 times, they're there on time. So this is something that, and they asked me to do this. This wasn't something that I did. So I think this is a special group I have this year. I think this is going to be my best team.
Okay, good stuff.
I really do.
Good stuff. Okay. Now, as far as like when the attitude concerning the differences between when, because I think you in the right spot to be the coach. Because when I heard you was the coach, I was like, hell yeah, good stuff. So I want to know the difference between how you was coached and how you're implementing that into what you're doing now.
Okay, so the difference is, in our generation of basketball, the coaches were they could be more vocal. They can probably touch you, not
Physically, I know. Yeah.
but they can be more in your face. This generation of kids are totally different. They're a little bit more passive, like certain things you can't say, certain things you can say. It's a way to reach the kids. I coach a different way. I was coached with a stern our basketball coach was a football coach. But back in that generation, the coaches were more vocal. They may grab your arm or something like that, not to hurt you, but just to kind of get your attention. I coach from a sarcastic viewpoint. I make my players think. Some people don't understand it, but it really works because now the kids are more, is you can't kind of embarrass me. And I think me being a player, I understand that. Like I coach from a player's viewpoint. So I imagine myself out there. What would I want my coach to do? How would I make basketball interesting to me as a player? So if for instance, if one of my players takes a bad shot, I won't immediately set them out the game and just start cursing them out. I will probably tell them to come over and like, yo, you think that was the best shot you can take? And then they'll look at me, and they know it's not the best shot, and they say, "No, coach, my bad." Or they know when they're coming out, they just sub themselves out. It's not. I don't do the back and forth. I don't curse. I don't try to belittle players. My whole thing is to kind of motivate them and say, we're just as good as other schools, and we don't get the respect that other schools get, which I love. I love being an underdog. I mean, being an underdog is great because I think we made a difference. We've made a difference since I've been here. I kind of feel like in a Deion Sanders type role of going to HBCU and changing the perspective and what people think. I've been in situations where we went to play in other schools, and the biggest backhanded compliment I've ever gotten was a young woman walked up to me and said, "Coach, is this the same Austin High School?" And I said, "Yeah, why did you ask that?" She said, "I thought you were in like a charter school." I'm like, "No." She's like, they were very impressed by how my young man behaved and how they presented themselves. So for me, it's all about the presentation and the respect that you are going to earn. It's not given.
Right.
When you walk in and you look in a certain type of way and you act in a certain type of way, people are going to respect you and people are going to look and you're going to grab their attention. So that's kind of what we've been doing since I've been here. So those are the differences for me, this generation, because when we played, it was all about basketball.
Yeah.
Now, this generation, basketball is not their first love. They may play video games, they may rap, they may do everything else, and basketball is kind of secondary. And it's like, oh yeah, coach, by the way, I play too. But they think that they can go to the NBA without putting in the work. So that's kind of what I have to kind of
making sure they put that work in if
yeah,
they want to go that
we're
route.
Putting the work in. We're putting the work in, for sure. We have to.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, what are your expectations? Like, I know you right now is just starting. So, do you see any potential people
Yes,
like that's going to stand out more than the others? As far as like they want to play. Let's say if they want to go to the NBA, do you see some people that can actually, right now?
I have some players that potentially can play at the next level. I can't say NBA because that's it's half political.
Yeah.
It's a big. I don't. A lot of times people ask me that question that it's impossible to go to the NBA. It's not. Ironically, from my neighborhood, and I had this conversation with President Ed Christ the King, which is another reason I left. And he says, well, it's impossible to go to the NBA. And I said, well, I know more professional basketball players than I do doctors and lawyers in my neighborhood. Which is, you may say, that's odd. No, you don't. Yeah, yes, I do. Ironically, I play some semi-pro basketball. So it's not impossible. We do this every single day. Life is hard. And about going to the NBA, it's not about just if you can play. You have to be kind of in the right position, the right size to make it. If you have a player that's a certain height and he can handle the ball and get his own shot, he can make money playing basketball. So I do have some kids. This is probably my tallest team and my youngest team. But what I think makes this team special is they want it more than any other team. They want it more. Like they asked to come in early. So I said, okay.
Pardon the interruption. All Tigers, in observance of mindful moment for our Monday. Good morning, Tiger family. We continue to honor our beloved community and our commitment to care for each other. The following mindful moment comes from the teaching of Teach Not Harm. When you produce the thought that is full of understanding, forgiveness, and compassion, and thought will immediately have a healing effect on both your physical and mental health and those around you. If you think a thought is full of judgment and anger
yeah. So going to that next level, and I think a lot of times we don't understand the importance or how it is to make it past a certain point when you're playing basketball. The average height of an NBA player is 6'7". Every 4 years, they have a short guy that they let in for about 3 years, and then he's gone. And that's to give people hope.
Okay.
Because we rely on hope. So I'm realistic. What I have learned in my years of playing basketball and after I was done, that there are 44 other jobs in professional basketball that has absolutely nothing to do with dribbling.
Yeah.
So my job is to provide that information to my players. So what I do every year is have my players, they have to do a book report. And you have to research jobs in the NBA that's not a basketball player. And what they have to do is they come back with 3 jobs, how much the job makes, and why they would like to do the job. And from that point, they get a better understanding. They say, I can still be involved in the game if I'm not a player. So for me, and I tell them I'm a perfect example of it, I never wanted to be a basketball coach. I thought I was going to the NBA like everybody else who dribbled the basketball. And I didn't realize that I didn't have the size. Skill level, yeah, but not size. So what I did now, I tell them, like, look, I get paid to coach basketball. This is something I've been around my entire life. And I'm able to do it at my high school, which makes me a little bit different from a lot of other coaches. There's a few other coaches that coach their alma maters, and they've had some success. So for me to come back and be able to coach my high school is almost like a dream come true that I never even thought was a dream. So I'm doing this quote-unquote job, and it doesn't feel like a job. So that's the example that I give my kids. Like, look, you can be an official, you can be a trainer, you can be a scout, you can be a coach, and they all make over 6 figures. So that was something that I had no idea about as a player. I didn't learn that till I was in my 30s. And someone asked, do I want to be an official? I was like, no, they don't even make money. Like, yes, they do. They start off with $250 for 6 months. Think about it. And I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know. So I educate my kids. So that's my job, to educate my players on life, not just basketball.
It's more to it in the NBA than just bouncing that ball,
yes,
boy.
Definitely.
There's a whole lot of background to it. Okay. So good stuff. So what are your projections for this year as far as the team is concerned?
Oh, so we have some short-term goals. Our short-term goal now is, most importantly, everyone stays healthy and eligible. Secondly is to win our conference. We started off in the lowest conference. We're one conference away from being in what they call the super conference, which is the red division. We came up a little bit short last year. In overtime, we lost in overtime by 3. So this year, that's our immediate short-term goal. The next one is to repeat as a regional champion, and then go to the super sectional. We lost in the super sectional championship last year to Marshall. So that rivalry, which I'm kind of excited about. There used to be a rivalry back in like the 70s, Austin and Marshall.
Yeah.
Now it's a rivalry again because now we're in the same conference. And ironically, we played Marshall December 5th, which is our first conference game here.
Okay.
So we have to avenge our last year's loss, but it'd be sweeter to beat them in conference and then to win the conference and then go on in the sectional, go on in the state playoffs and kind of do it again, because we'll probably bump heads again. Yeah. In the regional championship, in the sectional championship again. So that's my goal, and if I can do that this year, I only have one senior. My entire team is coming back, so we'll look real good for the next two years.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. So I'm end it here, but I want to get the schedule for the teams. The schedule for the teams.
Yeah, I'll provide that with you because I'm still
working,
adding games.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Still adding games. I can give you like the conference schedule, but the entire schedule, I'm still adding games. Got a couple. I know we have a team from Ohio coming. We may have another team from Kentucky coming in. So we're adding some games this year. We've been playing in some fall leagues now. We're doing fall leagues now, and we've been pretty successful. I think we've only lost once from the summer to now.
Okay.
And we've been doing pretty well.
But this would not be the first interview with Troy McGee for real people. So just stay tuned, and we're gonna go all the way out with the Tigers this year. We're gonna rock with them and follow them up closely. This is this is my high school too. I graduated from there, so I'm loving this right here. So one love. Talk that shit TV. We out.